everybody. Just need to clear myself some space. Hello, hello. Let me put the comments on, sorry. Hello. Hey, Susan, Sandy, Kobe, Natasha. Hello, hello. So I'm sitting in my new office, so I do not have my background this evening, so you get to see slowly all coming together. So guys, just the usual this evening. I do apologise, I am a little bit later than I wanted to be, but I ran late with clients. But I'm here until 9:30, so let's get started. Before I do though guys, I just want to remind you that this weekend the Tarot and Oracle courses are on. So Saturday's Tarot, Sunday is Oracle, $65 for Tarot, $45 for the Oracle, so the cheapest chips. And basically for the Tarot, you want to learn Tarot, you want to be able to interpret it without having to memorise that huge ass book. This is the course for you, and it's the same with Oracle. Oracle, basically I'm going to teach you how to pick up any deck and be able to read it without having to memorise all of those books, and just really tap into that intuition and be able to give yourself good messages. So that is up. You can book right up until the day for those guys. Alright, let's get back to it. So I'm just going to jump up to the top, catch a couple of the ones that are on first. Nene, how you going? Any card for me, please. Beautiful. Alright, I hope everyone is enjoying, or for those of you it applies to, enjoying the daylight saving switch. Always like the longer days. Alright, no. You know what I want to say to you today? Moving forward, I want you to be a little bit more solid with your plans. You know, I feel like you've got balls in motion and you're moving forward, but I feel like there's not the solidness that I want to grab onto that's there, you know, and I can feel that your energy's there. I can feel everything that's there. So I don't want to say that you're procrastinating, kind of, you know what I mean, but that's really kind of laying solid. So instead of kind of going, all right, you know, in 3 months time, for example, I want to switch jobs, and just a generic example, and kind of just having it hang in there, get it written down on paper, you know, work out what that's going to look like, work out what day you're actually going to start looking for a job, all of that kind of stuff, so that there's a solidness to it, and that way when 3 months comes, it's there, it's in fruition, it's happening. You know, hold yourself a little bit more accountable. And I say that just because there's movement that wants to be had, and it's like I'm seeing a bit of taffy. It's like it's stretching forward and you're kind of pulling it back a little bit, you know. And I want to say to you that you've got all the resources around you that you need. You've got everything's there. It's just a kind of matter of going, yeah, okay, I want more and I'm going to take it. All right, let me pull some cards for you. Nice. All right. So when I sit with you and I pull your cards for you, your first card out is the New Beginnings card. And that's what I'm saying. There's just this really nice, strong energy around, but need to stand a little bit stronger. You know, you got this. Just take ownership of those things that you're wanting to move towards. And I feel like this isn't just one specific thing, which is why I'm not jumping onto that one specific thing. I feel like I am kind of reflecting over work, not necessarily a change, but, you know, a shift up. I'm reflecting though around me, and I feel like I'm sitting on environment. So it's almost like, you know, it's not like everything needs to shift, but you understand what I'm saying. It's like if this and this and this is in place, I'm going to feel a lot stronger in myself and be able to move forward. And so you've also got the yes card, okay? And so when the yes card comes out, that's what you need to focus on. It's what you need to kind of really allow, and that is the changes, okay? Be open to embracing the changes. And so I give all this to you because I can feel it. It's like, yeah, this is a positive energy here. It wants to work out for you, okay? But it's like we only accept what we think we deserve, you know? Patch up those holes in your bucket and start filling it up because it wants to overflow, all right? But you have to do it. You have to put that key in. You have to accept and want, and, you know, not want because it's not the right word. I know you want it, but you have to accept. You have to accept that you deserve these things and everything else like that in that energy. And so, yeah, just crack-a-lackin', all right? So that is what I have for you. Thank you very much for joining me this evening. Susan. All right, I will catch up in the comments in a second, guys. Love a reading. Susan, I want to just take a moment and say to you that when I tune in with you, I get a really strong father energy that comes in and around you. It's like a father-like energy that comes in. I don't normally call it like a father-like energy, but that's what it feels, and I'm kind of just struggling if to go, is it dad or is it grandfather? And so I'm going to go, it's a father-like energy that comes in and around. In fact, when I sit, okay, he shows me, and I do feel like I'm connecting to a grandfather. He's got that whiter grey hair that's there, and quite a friendly, happy personality around him as well. He's not a short guy, but he's not a huge, over tall guy. But I know you'll understand when I say that as we get older, sometimes, we're not as straight as what we used to be. I don't want to hunch you, but you'll hopefully understand that's what I'm talking about. And as I connect in with you, that's who comes in and around you, and there's just this emotional feel that sits there with it, and he's just saying to me everything's going to be okay. So I feel like there's a little bit of worry and concern. He goes, your worries and concerns are going to plateau, okay? These worries and concerns is directing them over to people, okay, and primarily family. And so I just want to give you that, and just let you know that he's sitting there and he's around. He's rubbing the coins together. So saying everything, everything's going to be all right. There's been some... he's just going to me, there's been some extra things along the way. But he's rubbing the coins together. So I know this is around like the home and the income and all of those kind of little bits and pieces that are there. But it's nice. He's rubbing gold with me, okay? And I know that's they're nice and shiny. And so I know that's new money. It's new money. So money coming in, okay? All right, let's have a look at your cards. Nice. Always like that strength. When I pull your cards, you've got the Confront Fears card, which talks about, just having a work with those challenging ourselves, what holds us back, and, really sort of challenge ourselves with those things. You've got the Female card, and that talks about the changes and everything else that's there. It needs to come from within. And it's interesting because as I set your cards down, what I want to actually say to you is step back, and really just kind of see the things that we can change, the things that we can't. How does that saying, I'm not sort of saying it all, it's Serenity's Prayer. God grant me the things to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And I feel like there's a little bit of that energy that's there around. And, again, keeping it in the ball of context in which it needs to be. But are we carrying things unnecessarily at this point in time? And that there's a lot of worry and concern out in the world. So, that might be a little bit broader than just being on that Pacific as well, but just be mindful what you're carrying on your shoulders, okay? And give yourself a little bit of a break from that. I feel a real tightness around work with you, but it's nice. As I pull the cards, you've got the Freedom card that sits there, but I want to say I do feel a change that's there. It's not necessarily a job change. It's almost like a change within the place where you're already at, because I'm just seeing you move. Like, I just want to move you. I don't actually want to take you out of the job. It's a duck, yeah. Things are what they are. You've got my duck card. It looks like a duck, walks like a duck, quacks like a duck. It's a duck. Seeing things for what they are, and as I said, just that acceptance. Yep, beautiful. As I continue to pull your cards, I just want that little bit of frustration around, but again, just really assessing where you are and just taking that moment. And that's what I feel like I need to do, is just go, you know what, this week I'm doing me a little bit. And that energy, that pressure that we're feeling there, it lifts away, okay? I can feel that emotion. I don't just go, it just lifts away. It's a choice that's within there. I can't keep worrying about these things because I can't change them, well, this is your choice, and as much as that worries me, I need to accept that. It's that kind of energy that sits around it. And it's even that side of things with the work. I feel like I need to use my voice and speak so that things do go the way that they're supposed to, okay? But as I said, the rest of your cards are just, keeping yourself nice and grounded, being positive, but taking a moment and just really having a look at where you are and what we're bringing in and around ourselves, okay? You've got a beautiful big heart, I can feel it, and so just make sure that you're doing you first beyond everyone else, all right? I hope that helps. Thank you very much for joining me this evening. All right. Always feel free to chuck your validation back, guys. I'm not saying that you have to by any yards of the stick, but always feel free to if you feel a need to. All right, let me just catch up with the comments for a second. Guys, as always, please feel free to comment more than once. The comments do come through quite fast. Oh, you're very welcome, Susan. Thank you very much. All right. Tula. Will my new business be a success? Straight away when I saw your question, I wanted to jump onto it because I just got yes through my head. But I want to pull some cards as well, and I want to say to you, but much like what I said to Nay there, keep your plan solid. Keep your plan solid. So that, you know, like even if, for example, we sit there and say, okay, tomorrow I'm going to do all my admin and I'm going to catch up on this and this that I need to do, have that as a game plan so that when you sit down, you know exactly what needs to be achieved, you know where it needs to go, all of those kind of little bits and pieces. And when that list is done, allow yourself a break, you know. Your mind is full of creativity at the moment, and that's wonderful. I'm not going to tell you to slow that down. Just be mindful of overthinking. Your ideas are pretty much on point, and so when you feel that big burst of energy, feel free to just grab onto it. Okay, I want to say to you that creative flow is going to sit around for a little while yet. I smile with it because, as I said, I'm not even going to try to tell you to slow it down. It's exactly what you need at this point in time. Just be mindful of your balance. That's all I need to say. Be mindful, like work, play, food, you know, all of those kind of little bits and pieces. Just keep that in balance. I need to be bigger. Okay, I need to be bigger, and so it's okay to start where we are, but I want you to kind of forecast already what that next step looks like. Okay, even if not even if you don't know. I was about to say, even if you don't know what that looks like, because that doesn't make. Go and find out what that looks like. Okay, do the research, spend the time looking at it. That's your. Don't add it on top of everything right this second. You get what I'm saying, okay? Keep it clean from the get-go. Keep it clean from the get-go, and treat it like that bigger business. Okay. Keep it clean, and that's what I'm saying, like systems and, you know, everything else like that. I want to share with you, you know, like it's, say for example, we start a new business and we've put, let's just say $10,000 into that business, and so we look at that business and we go, that business is worth $10,000 because that is what I've put into it, you know, and so we treat it as that $10,000 business, but we don't want it to stay that $10,000 business. We want it to be $1 million business, and so as it's worth $10,000, we're still going to treat it like it's $1 million business, because where energy goes, energy flows, and if the intent and everything else is built up from the get-go for it to go to here, it's just a natural rhythm. You know, it's assumed that's where we're going, and so that's what we do. When I pull your cards, you've got the health card. So again, just be mindful of your balance, okay? You've got the spirit card that's there, so you've got lots of love and support from spirit around you, and just keeping yourself grounded. And so I said, your energy is just at the moment. You can probably see by my energy tuning into yours. So just keep yourself nice and grounded, and it's not because anything's wrong, it just keeps you nice and solid, gets you through your days, keeps your energy up, and all of those kind of little bits and pieces that's there. Go hard, go hard, honestly, there's nothing else I need to say that's there. So I hope all of that helps, Tula. Thank you for joining me this evening, and enjoy your success. Alright, let's keep going. Rosemary, probably I'll do if I will be moving anytime soon, please. I feel like the energy's already been halted, so I feel like we've kind of already expected that we'd be moved by now. Be mindful of the muck around in the middle, okay? So, when other people are involved and all of those kind of little bits and pieces, just make sure that we're on the same page and trust your gut, trust your instinct in this. I feel like you've kind of got a bit of a game plan, but some people around you, it might just be out of concern, or they might have different opinions or whatever else. Oh, what do you look at? What do you do? You know what I mean? All of that kind of stuff that's there. But just trust what you know needs to happen. Trust what you know needs to happen, even if you need to take the reins a little bit in that, okay? Then I'll push that aside. I want to protect the money, and I don't want to protect the money, but I want to just lock that and leave it untouchable. I keep wanting to go 2-3 months, okay, and I'm quite happy to sit with that because I've been sitting on that the whole time since we've been talking, okay, so that is what I'm feeling in and around that. Again, I want to take those reins and make it happen, alright? Own it as well, like, especially if you're like talking to people in the processes of this, you know, like we can kind of walk up to someone and go, oh, hi, yeah, my name's Elizabeth, it's lovely to meet you today. Or I go, hi, my name's Elizabeth, it's lovely to meet you today, and guess what, that house is mine. Just really kind of just, throw all of that in there, okay? So that is what I have for you around that, and I hope that that helps. I'm not sure if you've left a question or not, Natasha. It's the first one I've seen you, but I'll give you a reading. So what you need to know. So guys, as you're stepping in, excuse me 2 seconds, Natasha, but the tarot course is in on Saturday, the oracle course is on Sunday, 65 for the tarot, 45 for the oracle course. Come and join in. It's all on Zoom, so it doesn't matter where you are. If you'd like to learn to tune into your decks a little bit more intuitively, this is the course for you, okay? So Natasha, let me focus on you. I just feel like you're going from one place to another, I've been sitting here shuffling the cards, looking for when your bare feet touch the earth. And I just want to say to you, just slow down a little bit. Keep yourself nice and grounded. And you know what, if going at a fast pace is your thing, then absolutely that's fine. But slow down a moment, even just to kind of take in the day. It's like I'm going from one place to another, and my thoughts are already at that another place, and so I'm missing what's around me. The beautiful trees, the blue sky, all of those kind of little bits and pieces that are there, and seemingly unimportant, but essentially so important, because they're all those parts that fill our heart with joy and do ground us and do help us feel connected and make us kind of see life around us. And so just you've got your heads down and bottoms up, and I feel like you're so focused, and I commend you for that. But just take a little bit more time and just smell the roses, so to speak. You've got a really nice drive around you, okay? I feel like where you're wanting to head is pretty much you're on par with it. I do feel like there's some lessons that come in along the way, and look, that's life, really, but they're kind of specific lessons. And so when you find yourself really challenged, stop, and before you emotionally react, just kind of look and see and take in the bigger picture, because I do feel like you're learning a lot about yourself and about the way you react, the way you connect, all of those kind of little bits and pieces. And it's almost like learning to play a game, and I want to keep that as a clean word. Like, we're not learning to play a game to manipulate, we're learning to play a game that's like the game of life, I guess. We've got to kind of learn when to put our voice in, and we've got to learn when to pull back a little bit, and all of those kind of stuff that's there. But you're on par, but the lessons are there, and embrace them. If you take the time to learn from them, they won't be repeated. And I don't feel any massive downfall or consequences off of this, you know what I mean? I just feel like these are more things, as I said, that are challenging you, I want to say emotionally, like pains in the butts of people, and just all of those kind of little bits of stuff that's there, and you can see it's there. I want to really kind of grab onto it, but I still want to smile through it, and I want to say I don't feel a hindrance around it. It's just the challenges. So take on those, and don't let them ever let you feel like you're in the wrong place, because you're there. When I pull your cards, you've got the self-care card, and that's what I say. Stop and just smell the roses a little bit, just standing in your truth, your honour, your awareness, okay? Staying connected to yourself. Again, just slow down a second. Just slow down a little bit, okay? It's time. You feel it and you know it. And that's the thing. Like, just appreciate what is there around. And I feel like the more it's I had this analogy once, sort of talking about, if we're working towards this goal and we're working to get somewhere where we want to be, we work, but we don't realise that in that time that we stop and we laugh and we be creative and we play, our imagination can run wild, and and it's a refreshness and a vitality. And so within that time, we usually get those aha moments and everything else like that. So much so, I'm in the habit of carrying a notebook, also often, because I'll be like, oh yeah, sweet, as I'm sitting on the beach, You know what I mean? So don't feel like your balance has to be, so strong. You've got a good outlook. You've got a massively awesome focus. And so allow yourself a little bit of leeway as well, okay? But I want to say to you very strongly, the goals that you're heading towards are definitely the goals that are there. And even if they're still clicking into place, even if you only know what that goal looks like 12 months from now, I'm telling you, when you hit that 12 months, you'll know what the next goal is. And when you hit that goal, you'll know exactly what the next goal is. You're like a little pocket rocket. You've got an awesome energy. So I hope all of that helps. Thank you very much for joining me this evening. Be very mindful around the relationships around you, okay? Be mindful that people are aligning to you, and don't be afraid to let go of what no longer serves. I'm not saying that you have to, okay? What I'm saying to you is I want you to be aware, and as we grow and as we move forward, we're not going to align the same way as what we do to normally other people, like our friends, relationships and things like that, okay? I can see that there are some cycles here that need to go out over the course of these times. It's really important that you honour that around yourself and go, you know what, this relationship's no longer serving me to my greatest and I have to let it go. I promise you it will be replaced, okay? So just, really stand in your truth with all of that as well. So Natasha, again, thank you for joining me. Alright, let's give these cards a bit of a shuffle. I haven't seen any, but I'll just say as well, guys, obviously the trolls and bits and pieces, they're rampant. It seems to have quadrupled since COVID. A professional, whether it's me or anyone else's page you're on, a professional psychic medium will never ever message you going, oh, just put your credit card details in and we'll give you a free reading or blah, 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 okay? I think you guys are smart enough to know that, but yeah, just be mindful. Okay. Catherine Lee, how are you? Not sure if I've read for you before, but thank you very much for joining me this evening. Catherine Lee, can I please get a reading on my current situation? We've got our situation, okay, and if I look at it, how I presented that situation in my mind is like poles. And I see people within those poles, primarily two people within those poles, one of them being you. And it's like we're walking, boom, and we hit a pole. We're walking, boom, and we hit a pole. And we're needing to clear out. And it's, so the agreeance that's in between this situation, I don't feel everyone's on the same page. And if it's not the some ones and the some things as well is what I want to add to that as well. It's like, yeah. When I look above at those poles, I know it's a funny way, I'm a very visual person, but they're showing me all different heights. I need all those poles to be level. I want to say to you that there's things that need to shift in order for this to have the outcome that you're looking for, okay? And there's a resistance that's sitting there. Some of that resistance is justified, but a lot of it is just like, it's almost like fear of change and little bits and pieces like that. So much resistance. There's going to be compromise. I need to give something away. I'm not going to walk away with everything that I want. I'm not going to walk away with everything I want. And it's not necessarily a negative energy when I sit in that one. It's I want to say factual energy, but I say factual because I just feel neutral. I'm not like disappointed. I'm not like, yay. I'm just like, okay, I accept that. I accept that. This, I feel, leads on to, it's like once this is resolved, then I've got my next thing that sits there. I want to say to you as well, if this is connecting with other people, you're not walking away with the same people that you're standing with right now. Okay? That changes. Let me pull you some cards. Yeah, no. This is good for you. This is good for you. I don't want to say the situation is good for you. I'm not saying it in that, but this experience is going to be good for you. When I the first thing I saw, as soon as I read your question, the first thing I saw was the hand tight, holding on too tight. Okay, we need to be open to letting go. It's like the it sets us free. Let me have a look. Yeah. Okay, so I just did you a quick full spread, and so when I pull your cards, your first one out is the prosperity card, and that's what as I said, this isn't a negative that looks onto the other side of this. I feel like this is good, better off for you. This is, but you're stronger. Okay, improvements of self and situations. We just need to take a little bit of moment through this uncertainty and trust in ourselves. Trust in ourselves. That line of energy that's running through you is right. You've got the sheep in wolf's clothing that's there, okay, and that's exactly what that card means. It's the only card in my deck with no writing. It's clear as day. There's a sheep in wolf's clothing. It talks about just, people, sheep in wolf's clothing, okay, being mindful of it, and I feel like you're already suspicious of that. You've got lots of love and support around you though, okay, just looking after yourself and keeping yourself grounded. Then you walk into the completions card, okay, and needing to sort of regroup after that. But what you need to know most for yourself is it's this energy, this strength that needs to come from within you. It's really kind of questioning, where you are, what you want, and all of those kind of little bits and pieces. And we need to accept in life that shit happens, and it's just that, not to let it's not little, I get it, but not to let things, that we can go over turn into massive mountains. We've got to kind of just go, nah, I want to keep grab brains tonight, but I see a little four-wheel drive with you and you're like plowing through the mountain and looking at the bigger picture. We need to make decisions based on what's best on the long term, what's not what is best for right now, okay, because it'll serve us right now, but it's not going to serve us tomorrow. Okay, so I hope all of that energy and that information helps. I'll show you too, you had your jump card, which was growth, which just kept popping out when I was pulling the cards, okay? So all of that there for you, Catherine. I hope that helps, and thank you very much for joining me this evening. All right, let me catch up on the comments. Holy crap, the time's going fast. Guys, I am here again tomorrow night, and my time won't be short tomorrow night. So I have to pick my daughter up from work, so I can't extend out tonight, I'm sorry. But I am here again tomorrow. 100%. Okay. I'm not going yet, I'm just saying. Oh, there you go, Leanne Hodgson, you just got picked for a reading. I always like when it does that. If you're meant to be up, you'll always be up. Okay. Let me just stop these comments moving on the side because it's distracting. Okay, Leanne. Hello, everyone. Would love a reading, please. Any messages for me, please? It's nice, and I'm just going to give it to you just really quickly. As I was just kind of tuning in with your energy, and I'm pulling the cards and everything else like that. You get a nice grandmother energy around you, but what I wanted to focus on and what was sitting there though, I kept seeing like that love relationship around you, and just you were kind of, this person was approaching you with a big smile, and I could just feel they were full of love, and they were going, there's improvements here. As I'm shuffling, the 3 cards fell down, and the unity card was there. It's like love, relationships, and trust. So I just wanted to share that with you as I was focused on it. That's exactly the card that popped out, which is nice. So there's definitely an improvement around relationships with you, and I feel like this is, it's good, it's nice, relieving. Funny, as I say that, I seal the deal to move forward. The card falls out. Alright, let's have a look. Man. These are my cards. This is my deck, so this is just literally my energy on a card. So, hence the reason why they flip. Alright. Nice, okay. I will get around to it. I've just moved, as you guys know, and everything else like that. So you can see as I pull the cards, because I know that yous are here and that yous trust me and everything else like that. But that just always makes me smile sometimes the way cards come out, and I do completely pick them randomly. So Leanne, as I pull your cards, you've got the balance card. It talks about the yin and the yang of life, and that's what I kind of feel like. We just need to sort of go, you know what? Experiences that have been and everything else like that, and I'm not just talking about relationships, I'm talking about in a general, You know, it's like collecting everything that's there and going, okay, this is where I'm at today. And all of this has made me who I am today. And you know what? I'm just going to embrace that, and I'm going to really sort of step and move forward. I want to kind of ask you to look after yourself a little bit more in that energy. And it's not, I don't feel you're neglectful or anything else like that, but I just feel like, much like many of us do, we kind of put ourselves second place. And it's almost like, yeah, I need to start that tomorrow. Primarily, I'm quite drawn around your lower back, okay? And so just building up a little bit of core strength, and, you know, walking is good as well. It frees our head. It gives us a little bit of space and time. I feel like there's always, like, you know, either someone wanting something from you or someone at you. I'm voices, you know what I mean? And it's like that time is almost precious that you get in the shower or even on your own. So take a little bit more of it, you know. And just as I said, just being mindful of the balance and the perspective. I want to respect that word, okay? And I feel like you understand what I mean by that. So you've also got the prosperity card that sits there. Financial growth, security and abundance and everything else like that, okay? And I feel like that's just an assurance when that card gets put down for you tonight. I feel like it's an assurance. It's like, yep, everything's sweet. Like we've had some challenges perhaps through COVID or whatever else that's there, but everything is moving forward. Interestingly as well, when I just go, oh, moving forward, I get a house. I'm grabbing onto a house. And I don't necessarily feel like there's a purchase of a house, but there's either something going on and around a house or a house being sold. So something in and around the house that's there, but it's nice. I see that, yeah, it's nice. I'll leave that there with it. Your third card, there's the first card, which is why I went, I'd like to see, which is love and relationships and trust. And look, for me, I'm not a love cynic, you know, kind of. What I am, though, is someone who's, I guess, just been through enough BS in their life to go, you know what, I'm at that point where if it's not honest, it's not full of integrity, and it doesn't align with me properly, and then I don't want it. And, you know, we only got to look around the world to see there's so many relationships like that, and I'm not afraid to call them out. And so that's where I kind of go, okay, I'm a love cynic. But the reason why I share that is because I got 2 love cards in my deck, and so when I made these cards, I meant it with all of that beautiful strength and energy. And I always think about my grandparents. You know, I was very blessed to have 2 sets of grandparents that just loved each other, you know, and they really did. And the truth and the honesty and the integrity in that was just beautiful. And that is what I put into that card. That's the energy that's in that card. And I feel like I need to kind of sit with that a little bit and accept it, you know. And so, yeah, sealing the deal, making that commitment to move forward with all of those things, okay? So I hope that helps, Leanne. Thank you very much for joining me this evening. It's been a pleasure to read for you too. All right, let me catch up on the comments. Where are you going? Gee whiz, a minute quick. Hang on, I want to catch that one. There. Sky. Feeling incredibly lost and out of touch with myself and my life. And you know, Sky, can I just share with you, I do not want to take an ounce of energy away from that at all, but it's just, there's been such big changes and everything else like that, and that feeling that comes around can, you know, definitely be off the back of that. But I want to say to you as well that feeling of loss, I call it itching your own skin a little bit. It's the universe also showing you it's time for the move on. It's time to get into that next side of things that's there, okay? And so I'm going to pull you some cards and sit with a little bit of energy around you. But Sky, I want to say to you, you feel like you're quite intuitive as well, and I feel like you're quite an empath. So just, you know, kind of keep that in check and dispose of everyone else's emotions on outside the door. You know, the shower is really good for that. Like when you're showering, if you picture that water just washing all the sludge off you, and I know it's washing literal sludge, but we're washing just that emotional sludge, and literally flick it off you. Even if you're not anywhere near a shower and you walk away from something, you're like, oh, you know, just flick it off you. It's you know, the intention is quite strong around with that. I want to keep you a little bit more grounded. I know it's not as easy for you to just go, okay, this is what I'm doing, and boom, go and doing it. Okay, I can feel the journey that is there. I can feel the story that is there. But we've got to start as well. We've got to start. You've got such a beautiful energy. All I keep getting in my head when I sit with you is words like kind, compassionate, strong. You know, all of those kind of words that just keep flitting through my head. And it's almost like though when I give them to you, they fall at your feet. So I want you to pick them up, and I want you to take them and own them. You've had people around you, and if they're still around you now, do as you please. I never tell anyone what to do, but I'd be really having a look and seeing how people make me feel. And if people are making me feel like shit, kind of take that into account. Alright, so when I pull your cards, you've got the completions card. One door closes, another one opens. And that's what I'm saying to you. You've got that itchy skin feel around you. It's the universe going, hey, listen, come on, it's time to move forward. You know, there's more here for you. Let's stay here too long. The stand strong energy, it's like, yeah, you got this, it's all good, you've got this, okay? And in life, shit happens. And I put this card in because, you know, I not big on the swear word necessarily in the deck, but in life, shit happens. And it's just about kind of going, again, you know, I'm not going to allow this to define me. Yeah, it's an experience and it creates part of who I am, but it doesn't define me. It doesn't dictate where I can go. It doesn't dictate how far I can reach. You know, and just allowing yourself to work through that and honour yourself through that, because I feel like you've had, you know, a bit of crap flung at you basically through life, and you know you've kind of taken responsibility for that, but it's not yours to own. So you're allowed to give that back. You're allowed to go through the processes to get yourself to that point where you can hand it back. So I want to say to you, being positive, your attitude is a choice. And so some simple things that, again, seemingly small and insignificant, you're like, what the hell? But they work. It's really important that you keep yourself hydrated, okay? When your brain is dehydrated, it clunks like this. It normally should be all, you know, free flowing, doing its thing. When you're dehydrated, it's like that. It's harder to think, it's harder to get clarity. Keeping yourself grounded, spending 5 minutes outside, just going, gee whiz, the sun feels nice on my skin. You know, the wind blowing past me feels nice. That flower smells nice. The sky looks blue. Gee, that tree is green. Whatever it is for you that turns you on, go and find it each day and just hold gratitude for just a few minutes. It is biochemically impossible while our body is sitting in a point of gratitude to hold a negative thought. It's try it, you'll see. Okay, you'll switch from one straight over to the other. You cannot hold both. And so allow yourself to hold that point of gratitude. It gives your body a break. And it just renews you, fills you up a little bit, okay? If I continue to pull your cards, the external conflict, I said, caused by outside forces and other people, you need to check in on your circle, okay? But if we do all of that, boom, we go straight into, you got the joy card, improvement around self and situations, you know, knowing the strength needs to take chum from you and that you're at a crossroads, you need to make that choice moving forward. Where are you? You know, this is that card that goes, if you die next week, are you going to be satisfied with the choices that you make? And if you're not, what are you prepared to do about it? You know, and I know that's a really heavy way to put to it, but sometimes that's the way we need to hear it, to be able to go, you know what, yeah, actually I want more. You know, and my advice always is, it's easy to say, okay, what I want, I always say write a list. These are the things that I want to change. Then write another list. What can we do to actually start to instigate those changes? And some of those changes, you know, you might need to project manage a little bit and do this and this first before that comes in. But putting the belief there, the strength there, the determination there, that's, you know, you watch and see that feeling, it'll start to lift, it'll start to wash away, okay? So what you need to know for yourself most, taking a chance. Nothing changes if nothing changes, okay? With that comes the freedom, we know that. Trust in your intuition, that's what I'm saying. You've got a really intuitive flow around you, so make sure you're trusting in that. And knowing that we need to move forward sometimes without having all of the answers. Life is in the journey, okay? Life is in the journey, and so you need to get journeying, all right? So I hope all of that helps, Sky. Absolutely, I want to honour that feeling with you, but a little bit of determination, a little bit of shifting, and yeah. All right, so I hope all of that helps, Sky. Thank you very much for joining me. All right. Let me just catch up with the cards a second. Where are we at? Yeah, okay. You're very welcome, Sky. Honestly, yeah. I'm very good at, like, kicking people's butts and helping them find their mojo again. So don't ever be afraid to reach out. Okay, let's go. I'm going to do a couple here. Let me just double check on the time. Yep, sweet. Still got time for a couple more. All right, Nicole. Some guidance. Yep, beautiful. Okay. Again, feel free to comment more than once, and I'm only doing a couple more, but the comments are so quick I don't see them all. Again, if in case you haven't heard, tarot and oracle courses are on this weekend. I've made them cheap as chips, guys, because it's it's been COVID, and it's nice just to be able to learn to do a little bit of bits and pieces for yourself. And so tarot is on Saturday. That's 4 hours, $65. It's going to be an awesome intuitive flow on that one. The oracle course is just about being able to pick up any oracle deck and being able to read it, tapping with your intuition, doing all those kind of little bits and pieces that are there. That's 3 hours. So check them out. If you want to join me, come along. I will run them again. If you miss out this time but you want to come in on the next one, just send me a message and I'll put your name down. All right, Nicole. And I am back tomorrow. Nicole. Your management skills feel awesome. Okay. Nice. Alright. It's definitely a little bit of a theme happening this evening, and I always like that because where energy goes, energy flows. So, Nicole, when I pull your cards, you've got the... got people messaging you going, can I join the tarot? Yes, you can. So, when I pull your cards, Nicole, you've got the improvement card, which talks about self and situations, okay? You've got the shit happens card, and you've got the female card. And it was interesting, when I was sitting and I'm, again, just shuffling and spending a couple of seconds tuning in with you, that's what they're going, like, I call it management skills, but it's saying you're so well organised and everything like that. But I kind of wanted just to smile a second thereafter and go, but maybe we could relax on that a little bit. And so, sometimes, what is that old saying, like, no use crying over spilt milk? And don't get me wrong, I don't think you're crying over spilt milk. But what I want to kind of get to the point of that is that sometimes like everything's not, going to work the way that we want it to all the time. And just to not be so hard on ourselves through that process, that's okay. And I kind of just want to leave that as a side bubble, really, you know what I mean? And have a little bit of a giggle with you as well. Because as I said, like, you feel like you're an amazing person that runs systems and, runs that organisation and everything else like that. But just, again, give yourself a little bit of a break in that. So when I sit with your cards, you've got the improvement card of self and situations. Now, I'm actually drawn to you, okay, when I see that card, and I feel like it's things that you're putting into place, care that you're taking that's actually allowing those improvements to come into play. And so I want to say to you, keep doing what you're doing and just keep that flow that's there. Just to keep that flow that's there. Keep that flow that's there. Yeah, okay. I want to share with you something that keeps getting put in my head, so I'll just share it quickly out. When we look at, say for example, I want to be someone who, and I'm just using a generic example, I want to be someone who exercises 5 times a week, and I want to exercise for 1 hour a day, and so day 1 comes and we go and we do our exercise, and we're like, day 2 comes, blah, 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 get to the end of the week, running late from work, tired, smashed myself the day before, I'm all sore, and I don't work out, and so I'm like, damn it, I wanted to work out 1 hour every single day for the 5 days this week, and I only did 4, therefore I failed. And I didn't do it, and we look at that as a failure. But then let's look at, we're looking at 1 week, okay, let's look at 3 months, and say over the course of that 3 months, on average you have exercised, say, 4 times a week. Sometimes you've done 5, sometimes you've done 3, mostly you've done 4. And you can sit back and you've got 2 choices to look back and go, you know what, I failed that goal because I wanted to be someone that did 5 hours a week of exercise, an hour a day, da-da-da-da. But what you've got at the end of that 3 months is you've evolved yourself into a person who, for the most part, is working out 4 hours a week consistently. And that's an awesome goal to be proud of, And so it's not about just kind of going, this is the exact thing and this is what has to happen, but allowing yourself the grace, the appreciation and the pride of everything else that you do achieve in the back of it. And let's face it, in 5 years' time, do we want to be someone that gave up and went, no, I can't do 5 hours a week, so therefore I'm not doing it? Or do we want to sit back and look back and go, you know what, I'm someone who exercises consistently, and for that I'm proud. I'm healthier, I'm this and I'm that. You understand the point I'm trying to make? For whatever reason, they kept putting that in my head, and I've tried to say it as quickly as possible, but I wanted to give it to you, okay? You've got the female card as well that sits there that talks about, the strength has to come from within. The strength has to come from within. And so really it's kind of, the ball's in your park, basically. The self-care, standing in your truth, your honour and awareness, and internal conflict, getting caught in our own thoughts a little bit. And that's where I say, I just feel like you've got really high standards for yourself, which I applaud. But again, just make sure you're being gentle on yourself. You've got the Sunset card, and this always talks about the end of an era, okay? And when I sit with this there, I actually feel someone pulling back and away from you. It's not necessarily a passing or anything else like that. It's not necessarily super duper close relationship, but when I see it, I literally see that energy just pull back, okay? And so there's some changes that are coming up and through. You might find, for example, you know, a good friend is moving far away or something else like that. It's just that kind of energy that sits there with it. But tomorrow is a new day, and that's what it always says. You know what? Today's a bit of a heavier day. I'm sad to see this one come, but the next day comes and the sun rises, okay? So I'll leave all that there with you, Nicole. I hope that helps. I know I went at you, but yes, I hope all of that helps, and thank you for joining me. Alright, I believe I've probably got time for one more. Yeah, it's 9:29. Okay, so guys, I am here tomorrow though. I'm here probably around the 8 o'clock mark, I do believe. And so I'll be back, and I'll be back longer tomorrow night as well. Alright, let's have a look. I'm just going to get away from the bottom. Yep, sweet. Alright, scroll this one. Kimberly, okay. Okay, nice. All right. Hope you're doing well. My sister's boyfriend, who's spiritual, said he had a lady say hello to him. Described my late Nana Martin that passed in 2009. Was it her? Okay, Kimberly, I feel like you've got a connection with Nana Martin that's strong enough that you should be able to grab onto the evidence that I want to give you. What I want to say to you is I want to validate that. I want to say yes, and I want to say that it was almost like her personality to a degree. Like she wasn't like kind of person, but she was. I feel like there was an easygoing level around her. I feel like that as a woman, she was a woman. You know, she was respectful and feminine, and I want to keep that in context. I don't feel she was all hoity-toity or anything else like that. But you know, she was a beautiful person who a lot of people loved and adored, and I feel like family was very important to her. I don't feel like she had a massive career around her in her life, but I don't want to say she didn't work. And in fact, when I go back primarily around like in her teens and things like that, I feel like she was either doing like volunteer work for either services or in a hospital or something else like that. I kind of want to attach it around, but I want to go back in her younger days. That's where she shows me. Again, not to say maybe she didn't do it later, but that's where she's showing me primarily. And I do, like I'm a teenager. I feel like I'm 18, 19 years old as well, okay? I want to say to you that she was married. She had a connection in that marriage, but obviously there was a time between the two passings as well. I feel like he passed before her as well, okay? I feel like he passed before. Do I? Show me. There's not a big. She keeps telling me to flip him over. Telling me to flip him over. So I'm going to grab confusion on that one. But she's telling me to flip him over. Flip him over. Yeah, she's telling me to flip him over, so I'm going to flip him over. Okay. That's the evidence I want to give you around with there. It's there's been dreams as well. I feel like there's someone's dreamt of her, or there's been something beyond that hello around as well. And have a look and see. You might find, oh no, it's to you. She's acknowledging there's an anniversary or birthday or something else like that coming up, okay? And I allow 3 months for that, or 2 months really. If it's anything further than that, then I'm off, okay? I will accept just happened, but yeah, not months ago. That doesn't count. So I want to give that to you, Kimberly. I hope that helps. Enjoy the spirit connections. They're always beautiful. And so, guys, thank you very much for joining me this evening. Again, I will 100% be back tomorrow to do another live feed, and I look forward to doing that. I'm absolutely looking forward to the course this weekend. Guys, you do not need to have any massive amount of experience. That's what the point of this course is. You know, especially, both of them. Really, the Tarot and the Oracle. We all have 20 decks sitting around. It's like, too much to memorize, I'm going to teach you how to do it all intuitively. So it's nice. It's going to be an awesome weekend. I'm looking forward to those that are joining, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow evening for another live feed. Until then, take care, and if you can't be good at it.